Noiramore Academy, one of Drakenspire's most prestigious schools with over 500 years of storied history. The current headmaster, Julius Claiborne, is a former general who runs our school with military precision and discipline. Our wonderful planet of Noivesse is home to a great many talents in resonetic abilities, and Noiramore's teachers are uniquely qualified in instructing such essential subjects. But while we specialise in resonetic talents, our other subjects are not taught any less thoroughly, and every student is encouraged to explore their unique talents in our extracurricular programs. Noiramore Academy guides our students to commit to their studies, keep sound minds, maintain their manners, and most importantly, behave in a manner befitting the reputation of our beloved institution.
Extortion, Miss Hovern. Is that really what you're up to now?
I wouldn't call it extortion, sir. I simply told the cafeteria cook that I would keep the existence of his pet vermin on the down low if he provided me with an extra brownie or two at lunchtime. It was mutual exchange that neither of us had issues with.
Yes, Judith, that's extortion. Of course he had issues with it. Thank goodness I caught you in the act.
Well, why am I the one sitting here in this office when it's the cook who is keeping vermin pets?
I've already talked with Mr. Seabrook, Judith. It's dealt with. And more importantly, none of your business. What concerns me is you. Sneaking around at night, lying to teachers, extorting staff. This is a decidedly concerning trend. Don't you want to be a good example for your sister?
Indeed. It must be hard enough for her to be younger than her classmates.
For the next month, you are not permitted to attend film club. Do you understand, Miss Hovern?
But sir, I won't be able to see any movies outside of that club.
Hence why it's a punishment. Miss Nunatak will check that you aren't seen there.
I'll make sure of it.
Judith, head back to class, please.
Good old Seabrook didn't rat me out, it seems. Brownies weren't the only things I asked him for. Apparently, one of his old classmates from back in the day was really into puzzles. He set up some kind of secret puzzle in the history classroom years ago, and Seabrook never figured it out. Let's see if I can.
During the Onyx War, various battles were fought in the Inked Wastes. Some were relegated to land, others underground in the caverns, and many on the Inked Sea. Our fiefdom, Drakenspire, went head-to-head against the fiefdom of Northburg in a horrid conflict spanning 4 years. It irrevocably changed our fiefdom forever. Miss Cabrera, no drawing in class. Can anyone here tell me why the Onyx War was instigated? Miss Landerhoof?
Yes, ma'am. The Onyx War was started due to Northburg spies sabotaging our resonetic ring production process. Northburg took advantage of this to sell their own rings in order to gain the kingdom's favor.
A good summation, Miss Landerhoof. Can anyone else tell me why it was the Inked Wastes that were chosen as the fateful battleground?
The Inked Wastes is between the two fiefdoms. Plus, it was where we mined our ore for the rings.
Excellent, Mr. Strumps. Now, what is it about the Inked Wastes that make it a particularly terrible place to fight a war? Miss Acre?
Oh, yes, Miss Grimsby. Well, the Inked Waste is a nasty, nasty place, full of hard creatures that will gobble you up and suck out all of your blood. Oh, and of course you can't forget to mention the Surge, which will suck you down into his deep depths and fill your lungs with tar, his tendrils digging deep into your brain until...
That's quite enough, Miss Acre. Oh, quite enough. Our unit this semester will be all about the Onyx War. Since it is the most recent major conflict in Drakenspire's history, we will be studying it in depth. And speaking of which, you may have heard tell that a new science teacher will be joining us this year to replace Mr. Mason. His name is Mr. Bagshaw, and he actually worked in the Research and Development Division of the Drakenspire Army. I'm sure he will have plenty to share with you that can enhance your education. Anyway, I am now giving you the rest of the period to work on the papers I assigned to you yesterday about the instigation of the war. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Dismissed.
The note Seabrook gave me says history classroom. Page number equals number of cave hounds times... Guess I'll give the textbook shelf a look.
Oh, Miss Hovern, is your paper done? You're scampering about as if it were.
Yes, miss. I put it on your desk yesterday.
Oh, yes, of course. Carry on. Unless you have any questions about future assignments.
Is that romance book on your desk part of the curriculum?
No. Just a little something to read during lunch. Completely school appropriate, I assure you. Teachers need a bit of downtime entertainment too, child. No need to be nosy.
Ah, but curiosity is my speciality, miss. Is that not the foundation of learning?
No need to be disingenuous, which, coincidentally, is also a speciality of yours. You and I both know you're smart enough to tell the difference between nosy and curious.
You flatter me, miss. By the way, miss, I thought I saw you carrying a big net near the stables yesterday. What was that about?
That couldn't have been me, Judith. Why would I have a net?
That's what I was wondering. Hence why I asked you.
Oh, no. Wasn't me.
So, I guess we're in the Onyx War unit now, huh? How long will we be studying it?
Till the end of the semester. It's an incredibly important part of our recent history that affected many aspects of our current-day lives and politics. You have a good head for these topics, so I trust you will do well with it. And, please, do not include any battlefield photos in your presentations again. You know, I haven't the stomach for it.
Aha. Of course, miss. I may not be able to get away with it anymore, but other students will be doing that now. She pays less attention to the actual quality of the presentation, since she's too distracted by her disgust. And after all, she can't very well dock points for accurate visual reporting, or historical fact. A Corvenstone crystal tree. They say that every king or queen is buried under one once they croak. I wonder wonder if a royal is buried under this tree. The king of class clowns, perhaps. Becky. Nicholas.
What do you want?
Nothing. Can't a friend just greet a friend without coming across as needy?
Huh, friend. Right. Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Nicholas Strumps and Becky Landerhoof. They and I aren't on the best of terms. Becky leads the school's historical reenactment club. She's a real stickler for accuracy, to an obnoxious degree. Nicholas is her boyfriend. He's a nerd about naval history and sea battles and the like. Becky hasn't talked to me in a while, probably because of what I did at the reenactment. But I only did it because she needed to be taken down a peg. She should have thought of it as a favour, really. Northburg's crest. Some students' parents complained about this being hung in the classroom, saying it was disrespect. But Headmaster Claiborne, who was one of those very men, told he's an old stick in the mud, but at least he can stand up to the PTA parents. These are crystals, whose vibrations prevent anyone in the... to prevent cheating, I gather. I heard that one time, an upperclassman secretly switched them out for fakes before a big test. The crest of the royal family of Corvette, our current king, is the big boss of all. Supposedly, he's an unbiased ruler, but after the war, he seems to be more favourable to the crest of the Noiramore family. They died off with the passing of Headmaster Noiramore 20 years ago. They say she was going insane before her death, that she thought the Onyx War would be the end of the world. She was deposed. That's Marisol Aker. She's a member of the Historical Reenactment Club. She insists that she's a secret heir to the throne, descended from a long-lost royal ancestor. She's also really into true crime and horror stories. Once, she was taken to the counsellor for the amount of books she checked out on concerning subjects. Sol's never hurt anybody, though. She's a good kid.
Lady Judith! Greetings!
Hello, Sol.
Might I ask if the film club will have the honor of your presence today? We are watching Murder in the Depths, a delightful horror reel that combines Fomorian and Noivesse in directing technique. Additionally, I heard tell that real skeletons were used to depict the bodies of the murder victims. Oh, please refrain from informing any school staff of this fact. I do not wish to get into detention again for my interests.
I'm sorry, I just got into trouble with the headmaster. Can't join in film club for a while.
Oh, really? I'm simply crestfallen to hear such a thing. I do hope you may join us soon. A new batch of my skull-shaped cookies will be awaiting your arrival.
Deathly delicious, as you always say.
Indeed, I do.
You mentioned getting into detention at one point. What was that for?
Have I not told you of that incident? Ah, yes, this was from before we knew one another, I believe. In the library's radio room, I and several other students had met up to share our favorite radio shows. I turned the channel to my personal pick. As it went on, a few of the students seemed to become quite frightened. The librarian came in to check on us, and when he heard what we were listening to, well, he immediately took me to the headmaster's office. Unfortunately, I was banned from turning the channel ever again.
What exactly did you have them listen to?
A series detailing the stories of serial killers. A tad graphic, I must admit, but also rife with educational content.
What are you reading there?
An autopsy report, that's all.
Autopsy? Of who?
Baroness Belladonna Lattimore, a death from 30 years ago that many would consider suspicious. I'm continuing my studies of famous deaths in order to increase my likelihood of becoming a forensic pathologist someday. That is my backup career plan, if my status as a true princess is never officially acknowledged anyway.
So you're trying to solve a cold case. Have you gotten any leads?
Some things I find unusual, yes, but nothing that hasn't been already noted by famous doctors. Besides, my specialty is in cadaver forensics. I'll need a detective's mind to piece together the entire mystery. Perhaps you might assist me in that sometime soon, Judith, since you're so good at mysteries and all.
That does sound like a good bit of fun. I'll keep that in mind. What's going on with the reenactment club? Becky still won't talk to me.
Oh, are you planning on rejoining? Because, to be entirely honest, Lady Judith, I do not believe you will be allowed.
I'm just curious about what you're all up to.
I see. Well, our next grand reenactment is happening in a few days' time. It will be one of our biggest yet, covering the land and sea battle of Westlane on the 25th anniversary of the Onyx War's beginning.
Oh yeah, Grimsby mentioned that. And I think she said that non-club students are encouraged to join, since it's so big and educational or something. I know I can't become a club member, but I could probably help out a bit in this one, right?
Lady Judith, you know that I cannot approve you or not. You would have to talk with Becky. Have you apologized to her yet?
No. Why should I have to? She was the one who started everything.
Are you sure her slights against you were reality rather than simply perceived?
I know what I saw. I can read people.
Not all books are of the same language. Other languages exist, and one person cannot know all of them. As a person who holds precious friendships with the both of you, this continued feud hurts my heart. Pray, consider taking the first step to end it.
Fashion about 500 years out of date. Who thought those pants were a good idea? A sword, used by one of Corveth's knights. I don't know why it isn't behind glass. Grimsby has more faith in her students than... Hunting arrows. Before more modern killing innovations, most people use their powers to shoot these things through the air. Bigger ones for hunting. An old plate depicting Queen Clarentia. I don't know why any royal would want foods. Oh, a diorama of a typical crystal farm from 500 years ago. It's considered good, honest work, but if being honest means no... Gina Wendigan, resident drama kid. She was cast as a fluffbat in an upcoming school play, and has been method acting for a month now. Her obsession got even worse when she read through the Warrior Bats books. She thinks they're actually accurate to fluffbat behaviour, and now she's declared I'm part of her bat clan. Her antics can be weird, but she's a good friend. I've known her for a long time.
Nightclaw Judith, I need your help.
With what?
Well, my wings are that of a warrior. They are strong and my claws are sharp. All good traits of a warrior bat. However, well, sometimes I can wield them a little clumsily. And, I ripped a small hole when I was swooping past this dress.
Oh, Gina, this dress is 500 years old.
I know. If Grimsby sees, I might get kicked out of the school. But I've built my roost here. I can't get kicked out. As a fellow member of the Nightclaw clan, I am formally asking for your assistance, Judith.
It looks like the dress uses a particular stitch here. I don't know how to copy it well enough to pass Grimsby's inspection.
Squeak, squeak, squeak! Oh, I'm sorry. That was a curse word in bat language. I need to watch my tongue.
I'll try to find someone who could help. This sounds like something Becky would know.
Thanks, Nightclaw Judith. You are a valuable member of the clan.
The play is next week, right? Are you excited for all your method acting to finally pay off?
We fluffbats have a great appreciation for the arts. I am happy to take part in the play and make my clan proud by representing our warrior hearts.
What's going to happen to your fluffbat persona once the play is over?
I am a true bat at heart. I don't know what you mean by persona.
In another play she was in, she was cast as a janitor, and she cleaned the whole cafeteria. And when she was cast as a tree, she stayed outside and photosynthesized for hours. She's completely dedicated to the bit. Added anything neat to your roost lately?
Oh, yes, yes. I just added a hammock to sleep from. It's not traditional to my people, since they hang from the ceiling with their feet, but it is very comfortable, and it's hanging off the ground to keep me safe from predators.
Oh, that's right. She needed a hammock because she almost broke her horn when she tried to sleep while hanging from the rafters.
A question for you, Nightclaw Judith. I saw you've added a poster of a Psyquine man to your roost. Is this because you find him, what's the word in your language? Cute?
Gina, come on. That's just the poster for a detective holoreel. I'm not ready to like boys yet. I'm only 13. So, have you finished reading the Warrior Bat series?
Thrice over.
What? Aren't there like 50 books in the series?
It's important for me to know every detail for my fluffbat cultural studies.
Gina, you do know those aren't accurate to real fluffbats, right? It's a fantasy fiction series.
Have you read them? Have you studied anything about fluffbat behavior or history?
Well, no.
Then don't tell me what I do or do not know about my own species. Thank you.
That's Deacon Vespsha. He's good friends with Lydia, Gina and I. His dad is a pastor in town, which means he's a bit too much of a moralist for my taste, but he's got a sharp tongue at times. He fixed up the old treehouse we use as a clubhouse.